We welcome you here to Kendall Ice Arena in Kendall, Florida. We have Game 2 of our two-game University of Miami doubleheader between the University of Miami Hurricanes, who are sitting at 1-3-0 in their 4 games played, against the visiting USF Bulls. They sit at 1 win and 2 losses after playing their first 3 matches of the season so far. Hello and welcome. My name is Ryan Lee. Alongside me is Connor Stein. And Connor, we just saw the D2 sides just go at it in a very much a nail-biter game that ended 5-4, and now the D3 sides get a chance to take their chance. With USF, it's very much a brand new roster, but with Miami, there's a couple holdovers from D2 who are doubling up. What do you have to say about the way things can pan out in this next 60 minutes of play?
Yeah, I mean, we look at some of the guys on the roster. We got Nathan Koo, obviously. That would be a big difference maker that just played in that D2 game. It'll be cool to see how this one plays out.
As we get started here in the opening minutes of play here at Kendall Ice Arena in Kendall, Florida, University of Miami Hurricanes. They will be wearing green. They'll go from right to left. The USF Bulls in the whites with the green pants, they'll go from left to right in this first period of play. As we start things off in Kendall for Game 2 of our doubleheader, as it'll be played back in the defensive end by Seal Lenahan. A couple of holdovers from the Division II side will play in this D3 game for the University of Miami, while for the USF Bulls, it's essentially a brand new roster going in from game to game. As one of the new guys, Skinger, tries to enter, but he's stuck with the puck back at neutral ice, where it's going to be dumped in by the Hurricanes. Attempting to hit him on the money, but it's taken away by Asher Berman. Not before the Bulls take it back, and it's dumped in by Colby Mang. Mang collects, shakes off a hit, comes back to a teammate with Dylan O'Connor as it goes back to Mang in the corner. Interception there by Berman as it makes its way towards center. Too far for Luka Fox as he cannot keep up. Mang tries to go. Instead it goes for Kashikani, one of those guys that we mentioned. They're playing double duty today. Let's hope they got a sandwich or something between games, because if that first game wasn't a testament of what could come, you got guys like Kashikani, like Brandon Stein, Nate Koo among them who are playing in both games. So that could really test some of the legs that some of these half D2, half D3 guys have, considering they are playing both games today.
Yeah, well, when you play back-to-back games, and in my experience, you just know, you just gas. You just got to conserve your energy well, and we will see how they develop throughout this game.
Tank, how much gas left in the tank for some of the guys? Miami makes a couple of changes, so Keller dumps it in deep, goes off of a banner and out.
Slow, not too much to talk about so far, but they will have a center ice face-off, basically reset things here with 17:51 left to go. What I look for in this Canes team, though, we saw a lot in their Florida Tech win. Just a lot of perseverance and fight within this squad.
That last went off of the officials, so it just fluttered back to center ice as it's dumped out by USF. Big hit there. Contact on that far wall, as we will have the first power play on the board in favor of USF. So we already saw how things panned out for the D2 squad, considering how the coaching staff is the exact same. There could be a similar philosophy in terms of the power plays of the two units. We saw the first game go 2 for 6 in favor of USF on the power play. We'll see how things go for this D3 side as they get their first Wide angle try, saved by Brooks, rebounded. A chance up the ice for Unzali, but it's disrupted for USF once more with Sullivan, and now it's a chance. Sullivan in the high slot, cannot get that one to fly. Lamont again, holds on, USF makes a change. And now it's a turnover opportunity, and it's a chance for Francesco Anzaldi. He slips on his own 2 feet, and it's a chance for the Bulls to reclaim. Seven seconds deep into this first period of play in a 1-1 game, where USF sent that one towards Brooks. I don't think he realized that one went off him, as that one floats in the air. Rebound is swatted down, but not in. Keller keeps it in play. Well wide, held on. Harden Shura keeps it in before it's attempted from distance by Wanvig, and it's taken away by Nate Koo. He's another one of those guys going back-to-back with Ricky Kashikani. Kashikani, what a move, what a shot! Couldn't get it through. But it's Kashikani once more, goes off a body. Kashikani still on it. Kashikani with a shot. He goes wide. Those are 2 nice chances for Kashikani. He's back on it again. He doesn't look like he's played back-to-back games because he's been flying since this last shift. Kashikani again with a try again, but he misses again. They're going to dump it around, but not out. Kashikani out wide, in front. Koo couldn't get the berry as it hits the side of the net. In front, and it's taken away from Shira.
Kashikani playing very similar to how he played in that first D2 game.
Icing against the USF Bulls, and you saw, or you mentioned right there how Kashikani has been playing very similarly, but the hustle for Kashikani has been very much there as well.
Yeah, we saw here just a great tip in front.
Maybe even a longer drive than that with all the traffic with Taylor Swift in town this weekend. For 3 days nonetheless. How bad will traffic be now?
We experienced that a lot on our way here, man. Trust me, the broadcasters were dealing with it a lot.
Stuck in the USF zone as it's chased down by Ryan Maxwell, but he is pickpocketed by Joyce. Joyce and Maxwell continue to scrap, and Joyce tries to get it around for Asher Berman. Berman takes his man to the boards. It's Lynch. Lynch takes a tussle from behind, and it's eventually taken away from Maxwell. Nice stick lift by Joyce, and now a chance at the offensive end. Shimmy and shake it goes. Attempt goes wide from Siegerman, but he cannot make it towards net, where eventually it falls back towards center, and Kashikani, who is the D3 captain, will start flying into the offensive end. Kashikani wanted to feed a man in front, Siegerman, but it was blocked before it could get there. Siegerman and Kashikani fight for it in the board. Siegerman and Kashikani collect. Up, not out. Kashikani, Ricky Kashikani with a delivery. That one goes off the knob of the stick. That one went off the, and that one eventually gets tapped in as the follow-up effort gets buried, and UM is now up 2-1. Matt Callahan leads the line.
Now have. Any goal helps, and they will get their top unit. Skinger, I believe that is Callahan.
So it's going to be Kyle Fink, the sophomore, playing in his only 4th game of the season. He will go into the penalty box as it's sent up but not out. Kept in play by Skinger, who will leave it to the point for Kashikani. Michelini wanted to go for Skinger, but he was off target, so Wanvig. So the elbow is going to be the penalty against Fink, where Miami are still back on it behind the net of Cook. Nathan Koo amongst the many fighting with Callahan. Back to the point goes Michelini. Matt Callahan in front, couldn't get the tip on. That was attempted by Skinger, but it went wide instead. Henry Skinger back on it, and he leaves it behind where he drops it off for Brandon Stein. Also, he's got Shira. And eventually it's taken by the Canes. Backhander attempted by John Joyce. As it just comes back to the defensive end, and Miami will clear it. Too much. No icing, as one official calls for the icing, the other one waves it off. Good to know the referees are keeping each other accountable as well. As the wide angle try, and that one makes its way through for the equalizer. We're in for a 2-2 game here in the first period. Alexei Petrov leading the line for USF as they tie things up at 2.
Yeah, the Hurricanes just kind of get caught sleeping. Great breakout here by the Bulls. That was Smargon. Smargon buried it, and it is now 2-2 with 15-13 left to go. The Hurricanes kind of got lazy on their back check, and now they pay for it with a goal.
A try with speed goes Carter Sullivan. He wheels it around. Sullivan wants to take the lead with a shot. That one goes through the barrage of bodies, and it gets claimed outside of the zone by Michelini. Michelini with a try. That's kicked away by Cook. Michelini couldn't touch up as he was offside, but it's still in for the Bulls. It's DIII. DIII walks in, takes a shot off of a body. That's Michelini. USF already back in the offensive zone. Kicked away by Brooks. No rebound there, as it will be a penalty upcoming.
They're going to get...
As the referee, they're trying to point out their guy because there were too many men on the ice.
One of those silly penalties that you don't want to take when you're tied 2-2.
USF got their first goal on the power play. They'll get their second attempt on the man advantage. Neither of these teams have scored shorthanded so far, but as we saw in the D2 game, Miami will very much take those attempts shorthanded if they have them. They just maybe won't come every single time. But that is going to be 2 minutes for Ethan Block going in to serve the too many men for Tom Mello. 2 minutes, 4 1/4 to go in the first period of play. Miscue on the pass attempt by South Florida, so they'll play this one back at center. Disruption there, Callahan's alone, Callahan! A nice shorthanded chance by Matt Callahan. Kept in play, chance by Matt Callahan. Kept in play. Callahan's been on a tear. He doesn't look like he's played 2 games. Leaves it, shoots, saved by Cook. Rebound, still all alone. Landon DIII, across, saved by Brooks. Stuck along the boards, no one able to get it free. Landon DIII, the only one. As it gets clipped back to center where USF will have to reset. 1 minute to go in the power play for South Florida with 3:11 to go in the first period of play. Here goes John Kroc. He'll wheel it through before it's dumped out by Hartung. It's up but not out. Side, backhander, attempting to tuck in, couldn't do so, was Dunlap. He was looking for number 2 on the power play. But the power play has another 33 seconds left to go as it makes its way for Kroc. Kroc up top, Lamont. Over for Nickram. Nickram leaves it for Lynch. And that is cleared by the Canes.
Great penaltying thus far for the Hurricanes as they go for a much-needed change.
2.5 to go in this first period of play in a 2-2 game. 8 seconds remain in the power play for the USF Bulls. Walking in goes Mang. Near angle try off of Brooks and up top. Attempted deep shot for Fox, but they couldn't connect. as it will be held on by Ricky Kashikani as his side makes a change. I'm sure they want to prevent a too many men penalty like last time, as he was looking to go deep, as John Joyce was all alone in the center circle. Double strikeout there from the couple of moves made there from Rockets, and now it's Kashikani from a wide angle, swatted away by France on the follow through, and Gupta backs up as it's attempted there by Kyle Fink. Fink works on Gupta. Fink scores! A quick rush by the Bulls puts them back on top. It's 3-2 USF.
Kind of does this all himself. He gets the breakout from his fellow Ice Bull and just kind of gets around the two defenders. And I don't even know if Brooks was even ready for that shot. Just popped the bottle off top shelf, and it's now 3-2 Ice Bulls.
It also looked to me, at least, a little bit like Gupta was a little bit indecisive, because he was close enough to play the puck and keep it in, but he elected to back up, and USF back in their own zone, but it's intercepted from Anzaldi into the corner. Couldn't keep it in. Final minute in the first period of play. We're ready for the Canes. Dafren drops it, shoots it. Brooks with a save. Rebound, still loose. No one can get it clean. Shira goes to the corner. It's tussled. Around the boards, broken twig on the ice, kept in by Keller. Final third, Callahan fires and swallowed up by Cook.
Yeah, on this replay we see here, the Canes do a great job exiting the zone, go back and forth, and Zaldi and Callahan, and just a great save there by
On the 21st of September in that 4-2 loss against the D. One last try for Miami with 6 seconds left to go. Matt Callahan shows things off. Callahan from the high slot takes a shot, takes a body, and that'll be it for the first period of play.
Overall, I didn't mind that period from the Hurricanes. Back and forth, very even team-wise. Ice Bulls hold the advantage now.
So after all is said and done, a pair of goals by the USF Bulls in quick succession allow them to not only get the lead once, they get the lead to end the first 20 minutes of play. 3-2 is your score after the first. We'll be back with the second period of play when we return. We return here for the start of period number 2 between the University of South Florida Bulls and the University of Miami Hurricanes, where the Bulls currently have a 3-2 lead on the Canes after a couple of quick back-to-back goals. It's been a back-and-forth game so far where it hasn't really strived away from what it has been. It's been Bulls-Canes the entire way through, which is why we have 5 goals with the advantage going towards USF. It's been a very different game from how things panned out in the D2 game in the first half of the doubleheader.
Yeah, no, for sure. Both of these rosters are very well even, I would say. I mean, back and forth basically the entire game. Not really one side getting over the other, but this is the period where I think we'll see that difference. I think we'll see a difference of skill level, maybe a team drifting a little bit as we look forward into this second period.
Well, we saw a 6-goal second period in the last game of the doubleheader, as we had a 4-2 period in the D2 game, but there's not a lot of crossover here between the D2 side and the D3 side, at least that we can talk about so far. But that doesn't mean that it's not without its opportunities, because both teams most certainly have been getting their chances towards net. It's just that no one has necessarily been putting them back to really get the true stranglehold on the period that we may have expected. But nonetheless, we are back here for period number 2 for the second set of 40. For the second set of 20 to conclude 40 minutes of play. University of Miami, they're in the all green. Go from left to right to start off this second period of play. USF right to left in the all whites as we get ready at center ice with Henry Skinger and Dylan O'Connor at the faceoff dot with Ryan Cook and Jamie Brooks. And this has been a nice recovery game for Brooks, despite having his last performance be an 8-0 game against the FAU D3 squad on opening weekend. They split the last weekend of play against FIT, a win and a loss here at Kendall. They want to try to start things off with a W here in game 1 of 2 between USF and UMiami in D3. This is actually the first of 4 consecutive games between the Bulls and the Canes. Brooks kicks out one aside on the shot from the point as it is fluttered towards Skinger. Skinger's got numbers. His shot takes a body that was in front by Wanvig. And a quick poke up from, and he dumps that one ahead, so his teammates can make a change in the first minute. Deep try attempted. Gupta with the cutoff. Gupta weaves past and gets possession again. Gupta, wide angle, kicked away by Cook. Rebound in front. Still a scramble. No one can get it through. Puck played along center, attempting to wiggle past, and couldn't quite get there as the Bulls got to be careful. They almost had too many men, but Matt Callahan comes into the offensive end where he holds, he shoots off of a leg. Gupta, second try, off of Cook, up in the air, rebound, scores! A scramble play in front provides a 3-3 equalizer. UM, back level.
I mean, we talk about the importance of getting the puck on net. Our replay couldn't quite catch it, but Gupta really did a great job getting that puck on net. And I believe that was Hartung who buried it. And it's now 3-3 all netted up. But as I was saying, though, very even game.
The second period was the turning point in the D2 game. Could be for the D3 side as they score first. But a quick turnover for Sullivan. Tries to send it across. Brooks watches that one fly past him. Deflection up in front has Sullivan again behind the net. Sullivan in front. Rebound loose. Brooks on it. He still claims it. Still in for the Bulls. DIII tries to keep it in. He swipes that one towards net. No wraparound. There's a heavy hit along the boards. That was Luka Fox who laid out his man. Into the slot. No one able to poke it in, but it's held on by Lenahan. Lenahan steps up, plays it back. Backhander goes wide. Attempted there by Luke Lamont as the close shot just skims across the goal line and out.
Canes got to get this one out of the zone.
Still in deep, outside of the net, dumped down and icing against Miami. But because Cook touched it, that actually negates the icing, so now both teams will have a chance to get fresh legs out. That was a flub there from the freshman Cook. And now USF will be dinged down for an offside.
Man, one of those freshman mistakes that you see, as I said earlier in the game, freshman jitters that we saw. We see this kind of great circling there by the Bulls and just trickles off the pad of Brooks.
Popping a tire goes Maxwell as they collide into the corner, but taken back by Lynch. Turn around the other direction goes Nick Rem. Connor Nick Rem, a junior from Wesley Chapel, tries to cut inside before he is disrupted by Miami. Brandon Stein couldn't get it out as it's held in on the point by France. Nick France back to center, and now it's a chance, and here goes John Joyce. John Joyce with a head of steam, slaps that one off of the knob of Cook's stick.
Cook's got to be thinking his stick there.
We've seen a couple of those shots go off of the knob. We saw in the D2 game and the D3 game for both Leniak and for Cook. But here goes Ricky Kashikani. He holds up as he lets that one fly across the line. UM makes a change, distance try, glove down by Cook. And that'll do with 15:51 in the second.
Overall, a pretty clean start for the Canes. They got that goal, that equalizer that they needed to get. And overall, I mean, I'm pleased with what I've seen so far. What about you, Ryan?
And for USF, their D3 squad, this back-to-back with the UM D3 squad, this is USF's only 2 games in the entire month of October. So maybe there's a play of not getting enough game reps, as the lack of games and the lack of reps can potentially play with you mentally, potentially.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've had games where, like, for example, not in October, in January, February, I had a game. We had 1 game in January because of the long Christmas break, and then like 4 or 5 in February. It takes a toll for sure. It gets the team mental a little bit messed up because you haven't played with each other in a while. So we could see some of the effects of that here for USF.
Last time they played was on 20th and 21st against FAU back in Tampa. Those were both losses to the Owls, but now trying to get in is going to be Shiraw as it makes its way to the corner for Petrov. Petrov for the goal already as it has to be a quick turnaround for Brooks, and it makes its way back to center for Keller. Bank it off the ceiling, out of play. And for the University of Miami, they have played games this month. They played on the 4th and 5th against FIT, the Florida Institute of Technology, where they were able to split those games with a loss following a win. Miami trying to make it back-to-back. And it's a lot different coming off of a back-to-back with a win off of a weekend versus having taken a couple of losses. Already starting things off with the D2 squad getting their 2nd win of the season. Miami's D3 squad looked to do the same as it makes its way
Heads up.
over the overhead mesh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That almost nailed us.
So there is a mesh over the glass, but it actually went over the mesh into the stanchion, and it went maybe right in between myself and Connor and our camera operator, Abby. And I guess the guys on the ice aren't the only ones who have to keep a heads up.
My goodness. As we try to recollect ourselves here, as we almost lost a couple teeth.
On the bright side, as that is icing against UM.
I was going to say in their previous game, this D3 team against Florida Tech, for those of you who didn't watch, it was a great gritty comeback from this squad. And it's kind of, that grittiness is still coming over into the second game. Lots of physical play, but a lot cleaner puck. That's what you want to see from your younger guys especially. An offensive draw here now for the Ice Bulls. O'Connor's going to step in now with the Rocket. O'Connor loses that one, and it goes around the boards.
With 14 minutes to go in the second period of play, USF already back in it in the Miami end. When they try to get it free with Dylan O'Connor, who makes the backhand around. Back to the point, long distance try, off of a body as it makes its way back, and now a 3-on-2 for the Canes if they work in pursuit. John Joyce elects to dump it around instead of just charging for the net. And that'll make its way towards Brandon Stein before it comes back towards center ice where Ricky Kashikani will recollect. 22 for 22, Kashikani right to the stick of Dunlap. Now it's a chance for Joyce to potentially reclaim, but instead it's USF. USF with a wholesale change, as that is a little off target from Fox, but not enough for icing. Both sides make their respective changes. 7 minutes deep in the second. 3-3 is where we stand as it's dropped off for DIII. DIII with a bank. Back for DIII, tries to go again. Brandon Stein sends it down. Is it enough for icing? No, it will not be. As it is going to be sent in. Nico France, that one goes well high. Anzaldi has a man, Ethan Block. Just sends that one towards the corner so it can engage in a board battle. And it is cut off there by Charles Brandenstein.
Brandenstein got a little elbow there that got uncalled.
USF had to go back because they were offside. Block was not on the same page with his man Joyce. And now it's a chance for the USF Bulls. Wide angle, Brooks in front, still in front of the net, but couldn't get buried. Charles Brandenstein spins the wheels. Brandenstein 3-on-1 with a save. Rebound, no one can get it through. Still stuck along the corner. No one able to get it free. Back to the point for Brandenstein. Kept in play for Berman. Tussle in the corner. Block and support. Block and Berman try to work on Fink. In front of the net, no one knows where it is. Top of the slot, taken away by the Bulls, and now they've got a 2-on-1. Poked away by Michelini to force offside. Nice defensive stick from Michelini to poke it out of play and make USF offside. And that came right after James Brooks had to come up with some magic on the goal line.
Yeah, just, we see here on the replay, just a USF offensive opportunity. They get a shot, and then Brooks just standing on his toes, making sure nothing gets past him. I mean, goaltenders so far have done a pretty...
Mello is that no matter who he puts in net, he's got some experience, as all three goalkeepers he has available do have prior experience with this squad, whether that be Max Hoffman, who played in the D2 game, Jamie Brooks, who did predominantly the D3 goalie, or even Harlan Jackson, who has split his time between the two squads. As that goes off of the skates of Jake Lynch, a senior from Lithia. And now will be a foot race where it's a swing and a miss for Cook. It'll be taken over by Del Duco. Stuck in Del Duco's skates. Stepping up from the point is Hartung. But not before Nick Rem plays it all the way back. Jake Lynch lets that one go behind him. As Owen Gupta with 10.5 to go in the second. 3 aside is the score. Connor Nickram, a junior in his first season with the Bulls program, tries to step into the offensive end where Owen Gupta is trying to clear it away defensively. Up, not out, Del Duco fighting along the boards. Del Duco gets a backhand back to center. And a quick flub there allows an opportunity for the Canes, but overskated. And Koo will just backhand that one, so Miami gets some fresh legs out.
Skinner just couldn't get that one off his stick. Just skated a little bit too fast past it.
Castricani deep in, halfway through the game. Koo
No one
stuck in
knows
the
where the
corner.
puck.
No one knew where it was, but Callahan pokes it along to keep this puck moving. Callahan from distance, rebound in front, scramble, Koo on the side of the net. And no one can quite get that one through as Cook was ready for it and all the way down for icing.
Man, but what an opportunity here for the Hurricanes. Nas does a good job getting that one on net, and Koo is a perfect opportunity. That's why they say, stay in front of the net and good things will happen for you. As Nas did a great job getting that one on net even for the opportunity.
9.5 in the second, where these two teams are level. These two sides will actually play 4 times straight as Cook has to swing his hand up in the air to collect.
So wild shot there that caught Cook by surprise.
So the D3 teams for USF and Miami, they play twice this weekend. They will play again tomorrow. That will be a 6 p.m. puck drop after the D2 squad starts things off at 3. And then they will go to USF in the beginning of November as Cook has to cover again. So this is also a really interesting scenario as well, because not only is this the first game of a back-to-back between USF and Miami, they actually play 4 times straight. It's just the next 2 are going to Tampa.
Yeah, this is, I mean, if you're a hockey fan, this is all you live for. And even a player, too, as we see the players that play for both sides.
They'll be very familiar with each other in the next 3 weeks, to say the least. Let's just put it that way, as they go to USF on the 2nd and 3rd of November. Behind the net, a quick little tangle up, still stuck in the skates. Castricani got it free, but not around. Across it goes as the shot is denied by Brooks. Second chance for Brooks. Still whacking away at that. No one can quite poke it in. Brooks is still there, still loose. It's a scramble in front. No one can get it through, and it makes its way to the corner. Back to the point. Across for Lenahan. Back across, takes a deflection and out of play. But Jamie Brooks, he has seen chaos and has controlled the whole way through.
I mean, absolute mayhem in front of the net. But Brooks just really couldn't find the puck. A ton of green jerseys. Actually, the entire Miami roster, or the line rather, was in that crease, so caused a bit of confusion.
But at the end of the day, it does provide an opportunity to reset. And great on Jamie Brooks for keeping his position. Just know, as long as you kind of just stay big in this frame of net, you should be relatively good. That's what happened there for you, Miami, to walk away still tied after all said and done. Dylan O'Connor, Tampa native, goes into the corner where it's swatted away by Michelini. Michelini makes it up for Matt Rocket, who scored the lone goal in the second period for UM. Block, squeezes the leg back, across for Hartung, hesitates, tries to take, goes through a leg, capped in, fires a shot with Michelini, but it goes wide, off of a deflection. 7:40 in the second. The Bulls will just dump it in after the red line, so no icing. Brandon Stein almost had some miscommunication with his D partner, but it's taken away by Rocket, and now it's a chance for a potential 4-on-2 for the Canes. Brandon Stein Leaves it behind for Rocket. Rocket had Fox with him, but USF will claim it back. Now it's a loose puck. Block. He's got it for Rocket. Kept in by Brandenstein. Charlie Brandenstein, a freshman, tries to cycle it around, but not before it is taken away by USF. Stuck in the referee's skate as it's Colby Mang trying to get it loose. Glove down for Brandenstein, who's got an assist so far today. And Brandenstein decided to hold, I would have just shot it directly at the USF bench to maybe force too many men there, as they were in a jumble trying to get some substitutions on, but at the end of the day, it will be offsides. So if you're Charlie Brandenstein in the corner, you see USF's bench right in front of you, there's mayhem there trying to get substitutions. Do you maybe just throw it there, try to force it too many men, or do you just do what he did, let the play reset, and try to get something the other direction on the other wall? Because you know everyone's on the one side.
I really think that the Canes are looking for any kind of offensive presser that they want. So I think Brandenstein really just was looking for some players, but to no avail. But either way,
6:21 to go in the second. It's an opportunity for Jackson Keller as he walks in. Brooks with the kick out. Back for Sullivan. Goes to the high slot. Can't get it to go. Eventually the Canes get it out. Not deep enough for icing, so it is Caritas, who is a senior, trying to get things through. And a chance off the bench for Michelini to retrieve. Two Bulls breathing down his neck. A quick little fumble kept in play by USF. Fox tries to go in. Quick chance. Brooks, couple of saves there, and Brooks keeps it out once more. 5:41 in the second. The Bulls are still on it. Poked away, swatted down, broken stick on the play, and then it's gloved down by Brooks after the shot from Sullivan. And now we've got some of the jawing back and forth. No pushing and shoving yet like the last game, but at least I've been noticing that they've been a little more verbal between whistles, to say the least.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, no drop gloves yet, but, you know, lots of time left to go. But obviously, the chirps will happen always. It happens in every game of hockey, but we'll just see if it escalates. I don't think it will, but you never know.
I'm sure they saw the last game and saw the consequences of some of the guys going one step too far. They don't want to repeat the mistakes of about 2 hours ago, rather. But it's a misplay by USF. They have to reclaim in their own zone, so Cook is out of his net. Lenahan is disrupted by Del Duco. Callahan along with them on the board battle. Ricky Kashikani. And Koo spins it forward to prevent icing. Just under 5 in the second. Callahan works in the corner. He's got Del Duco with him. Makes its way around and kept in by Kashikani. Callahan continues to fight. And not before USF are able to clear. Now it's a chance. It's a 1v1. Brooks is off his net to play it. Dangerous puck by Jamie Brooks as John Kroc had a potential breakaway, but Brooks with the heads up.
Man, Brooks, just with a heads up play. Kind of dangerous, but it ended up paying off.
Del Duco sends that one in, and Cook will cover.
Miami got caught in a bit of a change there. Some thought they were offside, but nevertheless, it'll be an offensive zone draw here for the Hurricanes.
It's
406.
It's also built a little bit unique because you had 15 skaters in the first game. You have 16 skaters in this game. So that requires 9 forwards and 7D. And just overall with the 7D, you're having to jumble up defensive pairing to fit that 7D in there, or do what Tom loves to do, what Tom and Mello loves to do, which is put a defender sometimes in a forward line. Block with the poke out, and now it's a chance for a 2-on-1. Here goes Ethan Block. He's got a man with the block, fires, and into the chest of Cook.
What a great little maneuver there by Bloch. I mean, we see him around. He finds its way to the puck, gets it around the USF defender, and then gets in to the zone and gets a hard quality shot on the goaltender. What you want to see, shots on net, obviously. Still tied here, but any of those can find their way in.
Brandon Stein, he had a body in front of him that was Petrov with a block, and Brandon Stein wins it back. Brandon Stein, he's got Fox in front. Brandon Stein fires, and it's Cook again. Three and a half to go in the second, where it's 3 aside. Very clean period so far. There's been a lot of clutching and grabbing as that one gets deflected wide. They had Hartung and Fox in front. Gets cleared, not out. Michelini keeps it in. Michelini again. Matt Rocket steps up. Michelini once again with the keep in, trying to maintain the offensive zone time. Fox gets whacked a couple of times by Maxwell. Fox again. Back to the point, Brandon Stein with a slapper, and it is Cook who has to squeeze.
Brandon Stein had a great idea, trying to get the puck tipped in front, but we see Fox here kind of circling around, kind of find his man, and Brandon Stein just lets that one fly. One of those will end up in the back of the net. I guarantee you a tip puck always finds its way back in the net. It's just got to find the right stick.
Sometimes maybe not even a stick. Maybe it'll just sneak through entirely. It just finds the right hole. In front, the swing and a miss goes as Anzaldi was trying to go, but he struck out. Owen Gupta has to chase back. He's got a man in support. That's going to be Fox. Nate Koo escapes, skims across the line, and kept in play. First chance, no. Second chance, no again. Gupta's got Anzaldi. As Nate Koo lets that one go for Berman. Asher Berman looking for his first point as a Kane with 2 minutes to go in the second. That's a heavy collision in the corner, and that'll be a power play for the University of Miami.
Yeah, a hard hit there by big number 25. That was Wenvig. Took a big shot at Berman. And the Canes will go on the power play here with 2:01 left to go. And this is one of those things, right? These are one of those roughing? Elbow, excuse me. Yeah, we saw that in both games, though, today. Lots of elbows being thrown in the air. As the Canes, with 2 minutes to go, basically left in the second period, will have 2-minute power play. This is where you need to capitalize to take this lead going into that crucial third period.
1 second difference between power play clock and game clock. Second period of play, level at 3. Who takes the advantage? UM does on the draw. Distance try, hits a body in front. That was Callahan. But attempting to skate away with it is Lamont, and eventually gets on the shot.
Offensive zone time is pressure here in this power play.
Brandon Stein has Callahan with him alongside of Koo, Skinger, and Michelini. Matt Callahan spins around. Callahan tries to weave in, and attempting to keep it in is Michelini, but cannot do so after the follow-through gets taken by USF.
On the next cycle, I want to see Callahan really try to distribute that puck more. He had a lot of guys open. He could have fed that one too, but instead had to turn the puck over.
Into the UM bench off of the deflection. Now this spot of the faceoff will be very interesting. If it goes towards neutral or back in the USF zone, this will go to Cook's right. But the referees are still discussing the spot of the drop.
Might be, yeah, it's going to be right outside the blue line.
So now that it's in the USF now it's in the USF zone. That changes things a little bit. There's no price of entry. As Callahan finds the open man, it goes back to the point for Brandenstein. Game clock and penalty clock are synced up. Brandenstein fires, that one goes off the blocker as the windup was taken by Henry Skinger. Skinger lets it fall for him as he backhands it for Brandenstein. Brandenstein winds up, took a stick, that's Lynch. Callahan behind the net. Across, in front, scramble in front of the slot. No one can take it. Brandenstein settles and it's poked out by Lynch. Lynch takes on Callahan as he starts skating up ice. Lynch shoots, takes a shot off of Brooks and out. Final 20 to go in the period and the power play. Jackson Keller. They might just be trying to eat up the last couple of seconds as it's just for Brandenstein, and will there be one last opportunity? Matt Callahan goes across. He's got Kashikani. Is that one shot in, and that'll do it for period number 2.
Much more cleaner period there for the D3 Canes. I mean, if you look at the score in the period, it's 1-0. So, I mean, I think they won that period. They did win that period. Now it'll be important to see how they approach this third period, right? Do they come out firing, right? Do they come out on all cylinders as the penalty just expired?
Well,
or
as the second period started, they did score in under 2 minutes to start the second period. So
do they come out with the same fire?
Of course, and even the D2 game, we saw that similar kind of trend where they started off with a goal or heavy offensive pressure right out of the gate after the opening puck drop of the period. It's kind of been one of the MOs of Tom Amello so far this season. Maybe they haven't fallen through yet because of the chemistry and trying to piece together the rosters, but it has to be promising if you are UM, seeing that every single time they come out of the gate with the fresh ice, the fresh air, they have come out firing on all cylinders right out of the gate.
Yeah, no, it's been a very, very good period overall. I'm very proud of how this team has kind of developed over these first games. I mean, they started 0-3, right? But over these last 2, they've just battled and fought their way back into games. I mean, they were down 1 early. So, I mean, we just got to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. One final period to go. We're down by 40, 20 remain. Period number 3 when we come back.
That'll do it for this interview. Thank you so much to Owen for joining us this intermission. We will see you back at the start of this third period.
return here for the third and final period between the University of South Florida Bulls and the Miami Hurricanes, where it's knotted up at 3-a-side after 40 minutes of play. It's been a hard-fought battle with these two squads when the D2 teams kicked off back at 7 o'clock. We are now at University of Miami Hockey After Dark. So thank you so much for joining us as we're a quarter hour prior to midnight. We're at a dozen minutes towards, if you want to be exact about it, but we carry on regardless for the third and final period. Connor Stein, Ryan Lee with you. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Friday night. And Connor, you got a chance to speak with Owen Gupta at the half. He was talking about some of the things that could be adjusted in the third period. What was the number one thing that he said could be an adjustment that you really carried away?
Well, what I got the main gist from is keeping the pucks on net and skating hard. That's the main two things that he kind of preached to me during that interview. It seems like the team, as he stated in that first period, was just kind of flat-footed, just letting USF kind of come on them. But as we saw in that very well-played second period by the Canes, they skated a lot harder and got pucks on net.
It was 3-2 Bulls after the first. It is now 3-3 as we start the third period off. Miami in green, they'll go from right to left in the third period with USF in the whites going from left to right. Ryan Lee, Connor Stein, our entire University of Miami broadcast crew with you as we are here for the third and final period of play. The physical and the physicality and the speed continue to be factors as we come along here for this third period. There's a couple of shots towards the net, gets kicked away by Cook. Second chance goes. That one doesn't find its way through.
Del Duco, another great opportunity right in front of the net.
USF are not very happy about the ice. It made its way for Brandon Stein, who just got a toe ahead of the USF Bull Kyle Fink. It will come back for icing, and Tomamelo will use this chance for a wholesale change, trying to get some of the guys like Michelini and Callahan on the ice as Callahan collects it after the draw. Around it goes. Luca Fox fights for it. He wants to go for Callahan in the low slot, but it goes over everyone's head, kept in by Michelini. Michelini wanted Callahan, but it skips over his stick, so it is going to be Matt Rocket. Rocket with Fox at Callahan, attempting to go out. Callahan takes a stumble. No penalty call there, as it looked like the stick was between Callahan's legs. An opportunity for DIII. He gets bodied off, left behind, swing and a miss, and they score! The first shot was a flop, but the second chance made its way through. And USF take the 4-3 lead, their first of the game.
Yeah, this is kind of what we saw in the first period. Just a lot of sleepy play, not really racing to the puck, and Kyle Fink just takes full advantage, goes far side on Jamie Brooks. And the Bulls, just like that, take a 4-3 lead.
And now how Noah Caritas attempting to get it free is blocked, so Caritas has to retreat. He's got block on his tail, and it just comes back for Kashikani. Body up in front, couldn't get the shot through. Caritas sends it around. Nick Rem on the other end keeps it in play. Stepping up from the blue line is Wanvig. The USF still trying to make something go as they cycle the puck around. Lynch steps up, he tangles with Kashikani. Back to the point and out as Caritas could not keep it in. USF making some changes, Miami will do the same as we are a little over 4 minutes into the third period. Through the legs of Skinger. And swept away by Siegerman. Kept in play by USF. Holding on is Sullivan. Sullivan just skating circles around this Miami zone. Sullivan still hangs on, drops it off, sends it for Lynch, goes off of Brooks to the corner, and eventually out by Miami as Skinger looks to win the race but cannot as Sullivan is there first. Sullivan, he gets cut off, and now it's a chance for Siegerman. Siegerman wide angle, he's well wide. Kept in by Kashikani, scramble in front, couldn't get the berry. Kashikani towards net and covered up by Cook.
That was the first great opportunity there for the Hurricanes. Secretbank does a great job getting that puck off the USF Bulls stick. Just misses the net on Connie with another dangerous opportunity. Much of in that first game, rather, from him. But good to see the offense start to wake up a little bit.
Turnover and a shot. That one's missed the net, but still available for Miami. But now it's a foot race. Michelini has to retreat. It's the foot race won by Fink. Wide angle, and they score! For the first time in this game, we have a 2-goal lead, and it belongs to the USF Bulls. Kyle Fink gets goals number 1 and 2 on the season. He gets the last 2 for USF.
Yeah, Fink's kind of been their star this game. Second goal of the game for him. As we see here, that pass, he just outskates the Michelini and just goes short side, and it finds the back of the net.
A 2-goal hole for Miami as Rocket starts his engines, makes it around. Michelini, he got burned on the last play, won't let it go again. Dunlap tries to go. Follow-up chance is absorbed by Brooks. John
Almost the devastating turnover in the defensive zone. Was lucky no harm was done. Now the Canes, though, in a 2-goal hole as they look to chip into that one.
Long distance try goes off of a stick, so Miami will skate it out. It should be enough for icing, and it is. I think we are officially in hockey after dark territory, aren't we, as we approach midnight?
And I think the players are starting to feel that as well. I can just tell just a lot of sleepy plays being done. And you got to wake up.
You also have a whole set of 5 guys. That's a whole offensive line, and basically, who are playing back-to-back games. So we mentioned in the first period, the legs might be slowly feeling the gas. As it's poked around, Luca Fox wants to make it around for Ethan Block. In his first season from Scottsdale, Arizona, pitches it up for Matt Callahan. Callahan lets that one free as gets some fresh legs. And that will be on USF, and Miami will get their 3rd power play of the game.
It's going to be on Nickerum. He kind of just took a whack. I think they're going to get him for a board. Yeah. But not the head coach is asking for an explanation, but I think that was pretty plain as day, to be completely frank with you, as this is a perfect time for the Canes to chip back into this 2-goal hole that they dug themselves in.
With Koo and Callahan on his flank, with Brandon Stein and Michelini behind him. And the official might have taken some contact to his lower half as well as he stretches things out, but the other official is trying to give the proper explanation before. Up, not out. Michelini gloves it down. Michelini looks for his options. He's got Callahan. Callahan up tight, saved by Cook. Cleared up but not out. Brandon Stein keeps it in. Brandon Stein. Michelini winds up into the glove. Cook couldn't keep it in. Koo. Fight along the boards and makes its way back for Charles Brandon Stein, the freshman from West Islip, New York, looking for his first goal of the season. Brandon Stein shot off of Cook, and the follow-up couldn't be poked in as it is Callahan behind the net. Brandon Stein waits. as Michelini takes over. Coup down. League coming up against USF again, it looks like. So we will have a 5-on-3 for Miami.
They're going to get Jacob Lynch for that one. The senior from Lithia, Florida. Didn't quite see what happens, but nevertheless.
Face off one, Callahan steps in, fires, he goes wide. Koo wanted Callahan again. Koo takes a two-handed shove from behind. Callahan behind the net, pokes it back for Brandenstein. 42 on the 5-on-3, 145 on the man advantage. Michelini goes too high, and Brandenstein can't keep it in. So roughing for Lynch, and another 28 on the boarding from Nickrem. Michelini bobs and weaves, plays it around. Back up top, Brandenstein winds up and he missed the net. Skinger, another 12 to go on the 5-on-3. Michelini's got Callahan behind the net. Callahan, 7 seconds to go on 5-on-3. Across, winds up is wide. That'll do it for the 5-on-3. We used to have a regular 5-on-4 power play. For another minute to go, Callahan, he missed the net. As it's played up by Keller, but not out. Callahan, he's got Michelini on the near side, but Delaney up top. Michelini, 41 in the power play, goes across, had Koo and Callahan, off aim on both of them. Brandenstein. And that one is sent down by USF as they make a wholesale change. Miami will do the same.
With it. Got some solid offensive zone pressure, but not really anything too notable.
Final 10 seconds left, and that will be it for the man advantage for UM. So we're back to 5 aside, and that puts UM at 0 for 5 on the power play in today's game. They only had 4 power play goals the whole season, which is towards the bottom 5 of Division III in College Hockey South. A pivot for Kroc. Across for Mang. Mang gives it a go into the top mesh and out of play. As we have 9:20 to go in a 2-goal game.
Sorry, partner. That UM's really just got to clean up things here in the third period. This game has really gotten away from them. I mean, this was a 3-3 game left. I mean, going into this third period, just got to clean up some things on the offensive zone draws, on the defensive zone draws.
Hits a body up in front as Kashikani tries to fish it out of his own end. Kashikani with a one-handed poke, but not enough to clear the blue line. That eventually makes its way across as the race at center ice is taken by Dunlap, who has a hard collision on Kashikani, and Dunlap is down on the ice.
I don't even think Kashikani meant to do that.
So Kashikani and Dunlap, it might have just been some incidental contact that slid into the boards. So good news is that Jacob Dunlap is back on his 2 feet. The sophomore in his first season, originally from Orlando, Florida, is playing in his 4th game with the USF Bulls. He had some tangle-ups with Kashikani. The officials were trying to make the training staff, they were trying to make their way onto the ice, but it's actually a long walk from where the trainers are set up to where their entrance is on the ice, which was the cause for the delay. But always good news to see a player back on his own 2 feet. Nothing about that to me was maybe malicious on Kashikani's part, but it was a lot of contact. It did slide its way into the boards.
Looks like
at the end of the day, physics will take over.
Looks like they're testing.
Concussion, looks like
Yeah.
the way that the trainers are trying to wave the fingers. The eye test.
I guess they're giving him the okay. Were they like booing the trainer on the ice? I was so confused.
I think they were trying to say get her on here sooner, but the way the Kendall Ice Arena is set up, the only way on is through the Miami bench, but the trainer's station is where the locker rooms are, which is at the ends and not in the middle, so it's a little bit of an awkward layout. Granted, she was making her way there. It just maybe wasn't necessarily before USF decided to
It's also
say
not
their piece,
easy.
to say the least.
It's not easy to walk on ice either.
Distance try, saved by Brooks, cleared out after the attempt by Colby Mang.
That
Mang
penalty.
looking for his first goal of the season. Couldn't get that one through in game number 29 in his third season of College Hockey South play. As it is taken away, the attempt there by Koo, but it makes its way back to Lamont. Lamont can't get past Koo, but eventually does with the assistance of Dylan O'Connor. Has a man near side, Kyle Fink. He's got two. Does he have a hat trick in him? Lamont from the point, off of a leg. Half wall it goes for Mang. And eventually it makes its way for Fox and down the length of the ice a minute into the power play for USF. Brandon Stein tries to get it out but cannot do so. He took the knee but couldn't get it out. Jackson Keller keeps it in. 45 to go on the man advantage for USF. They're 1 for 2 on the day on the power play. Back up top for Keller. Keller, Mang, wide angle. Brooks with a save. No follow-up as Callahan collects. Callahan elects to skate instead of shoot. Callahan, he's got a goal already. Goes backhander, but it's off of Cook. And it dislodged the net in the process.
Yeah, that kind of caught Cook by surprise. As you saw, he pushed the net right behind him. So, wait. What did they call on that, actually? Was it an off net? Did they blow it dead for the...
So the net was off. They just put it back on so quickly because Callahan was in
Wow, that was
end
smooth.
of things. And we might have another clock issue again. We saw this in the first game where there were some mishaps. Run a little bit. We had a chance to speak with the scorekeepers between sessions, and they were having issues in the first game, trying to hopefully get a... And the face-off is won by Miami, shorthanded, deep in the USF end. Clock had to be stopped because of the runoff, and now we're back to even strength. Carter Sullivan cuts in, and he scores! It's 6-3 for USF as Carter Sullivan gets his way through and has a point in all 4 games this season.
Yeah, Carter Sullivan really just catches the Canes sleeping once again. He just kind of goes coast to coast, gets around his man, and the Hermantown, Minnesota native buries it. 6-3 now, man. Talk about a complete switch. I mean, just completely different style of play this period.
That's captain level stuff right there when you own Carter Sullivan. That's at least a point in all 4 games so far for USF D3. And now's the chance to go in. That goes into the glove of Brooks on the release from Alexei Petrov.
This game has just really gotten away from the Canes. They basically controlled the whole second period, won that period 1-0, and then this one, just the floodgates have just opened up for the Bulls. 3 straight goals and 6:24 left to go. We'll see if they can make something happen, the Canes.
Here goes Luis Del Duco, goes across and can't connect with Elzaldi. A transfer transition for Hardin Sherrill. He takes a collision right in front of the UM bench. Things are getting scrappy again as Trevor Blazak tries to cut in. He pops a tire. Near side, quick tuck in attempted. Couldn't get it for Sherrill again. UM couldn't get that one out of their zone as USF, someone makes it through as Block lays down the body.
It's a clean hit.
Kashikani comes in, leaves it behind. He's got the poke check. Block with a reverse hit. As that's a quick step up. Kashikani with the glove down on the Anzaldi try. Anzaldi backhands, goes off the side of the net. Block has his stick tied up in the hands. No call there, as that could have easily been a hook. But Anzaldi is back on it as it's slapped around by Sherrill. .5:10 to go in the third, and that is going to be way offsides as Kashikani was still stuck inside of the USF zone.
Yeah, Nas had ahead of steam. Just Kashikani's caught, stuck behind the play. Just really slow. They've really slowed down in this third period. They got to start ramping it up quick with just over 5 minutes to go.
A quick flub there as it's poked away by John Joyce. Couldn't make anything go of it as USF are already back on it, but Joyce continues to hack and could have easily called it there, but maybe not so much. Maybe the players aren't the only ones with a little fatigue getting to their heads. As that one gets banked in, as the scramble in front finally makes its way through, and that's 7-5 for UCF, 7-3 for UCF. That's 4 straight unanswered in the third period of play.
Yeah, this kind of looked a little harmless. Gupta really lost that puck there. Gets trapped behind the net, and then a shot, and then a rebound, and it gets buried there by Coley Mang. Oviedo, Florida native. That was his first of the year.
The junior winger gets his first of the season, increases USF's lead to 4 as USF and UMiami, both the D2 and the D3 sides respectively, will square off again tomorrow. And if you're Tom Amello, considering how things have gone, how things went so well in the first and second, and how things kind of crumbled underneath them in the third, what type of adjustments do you maybe have to make overnight to prevent a similar outcome tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to cleaning up defensive play in your own zone. I mean, that just countless, in both games, honestly, D2 and D3, even though D2 got the win, just cleaning up the defensive errors and just cleaning up the overall defensive play is very crucial. Also, they haven't really even been in the USF offensive zone at all this period. So that's another thing that they needed to do. Just maintaining pressure, not relying on their top guys, because depth is obviously important. You need to have more people contributing, obviously. And good things will go their way, but we will see how tomorrow goes with 4 minutes to go left in this one.
4 minutes to go in a 4-goal game. Dumped down as Michelini chases. Both these two squads are back at it tomorrow. That's a 6 p.m. puck drop. But as after the D2 squads go at each other, that's a puck drop starting at 3. All of it here on the UMiami Hockey Network on YouTube. As we are just over 3.5 to go. Jarred loose by Matt Rockets, who couldn't get free.
The turnovers by the Canes, and then just like the defensive errors, like right there.
Couldn't get it out as it's poked up in front. Brooks has to make a save as he had a man right in his face. That was John Kroc looking for his first point in his first season of College Hockey South.
I think what we're also seeing here is like the signs of playing too much hockey for some of the guys that played back-to-back. It's just become too much for them in this latter part of the third period.
As you kind of see, the game continues to progress. Guys like Koo and Callahan, their ice minutes maybe not declining, but maybe lower in quality as the play goes on. And that can definitely add up over time as well. Well, good for those guys is they'll have at least a full night to get back into the swing of things. And the question there for Tomamello is, do you allow those guys to go back-to-back again, play 4 games in a single weekend, or do you potentially rest some of those guys for the D2 game, save them for the D3 game, or vice versa? Let them play the D2 game, sit out the D3 game.
You can mix and match. You can mix and match with the squad.
Of course, absolutely. That's part of the big puzzle that Tomamello has to solve, because USF, they brought 2 whole completely different rosters, but with UMiami, it's like 1.5 rosters. They have a set of guys they know are D2 guys, a set of guys they know are D3 guys, and a couple guys who can go either way. And we've seen those guys play in both games.
2 ways, if you will. Yeah. No, it's just like a completely different scene on the bench over here. I mean, you got guys that have been just waiting to play all night, and on the other side, you have maybe a bit shorter of a bench and just guys hanging their heads because they've already played a game. I mean, they're tired.
Give a credit to some of those guys, Kashikani, Brandon Stein. You know, you got Koo and Callahan amongst them. And even Jamie Brooks, even though he didn't play, he was on the bench for that D2 game, so he had to be at the ready in case anything happened to Max Hoffman.
Yeah, and there was that scary scene with him off the mask earlier. That could have been detrimental.
But so far, things are continuing on. With 2 minutes to go in the third period, it's a 4-goal advantage for the South Florida Bulls. It's continuing to hack and whack at it on the near side, but cannot come home with their 5th goal on the advantage, as it is kept in by Kyle Fink. Back to the point for Luke Lamont, as it's in the near side. Brooks with the initial save. Second chance goes, and the third one. How did that stay out? Jamie Brooks, what a save with 93 seconds to go.
I mean, I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. That was a Vasilevsky type save. For those who watch the Lightning, I mean, absolutely show-stopping save. Held that glove all the way behind his body and kept that one out of the back of the net. I mean, just some of those feel-good moments that you'll remember in a game like this, right? When you're down 4, you're just trying to get any kind of positive out of this kind of game. As there's an opportunity here for John Joyce. John Joyce steps right in.
Couldn't get it past Ryan Cook, but a follow-up chance available with just under a minute and a half to go as Michelini continues to fight for it. He's got Block along with him. Block bodies off his man. He's got 2 Bulls and 1 Kane, and eventually Anzaldi tries to jar it loose, and eventually goes for Joyce. Final minute of the third period. These two play again tomorrow, another doubleheader. However, tomorrow's set will be a matinee matchup to start things off. D2 at 3, D3 will play at 6. So that's another 6 hours of hockey for the Canes faithful as they try to dump it out, makes its way towards center.
Gotta love it, right, though? All the hockey you want here at Kendall Ice Arena. Please make sure to tune in tomorrow. It will be a very exciting day.
Anzaldi with a try, and it's held down by Cook. So the final 20 seconds remain after Ryan Cook holds on. He has only played 1 game with the D3 squad, and that was for 15 minutes against Embry-Riddle in their opener. He now gets his first complete starts for the freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Comes back to the South Florida Region win in College Hockey South as a member of the South Florida Bulls. As we await the final seconds, that'll do it here in Kendall. The freshman gets his first win in his first start, and the University of Miami, they will take their 4th loss in 5 games. That drops them down to 1-4-0 on the season, while USF with us our entire way through for entire University of Miami broadcast crew. With Connor Stein, I'm Ryan.